Hey, y'all. Lindsay here, Find Fearless Coaching. And I wanted to create a video to kind of follow up or piggyback on a video I created a couple of days ago. And that video was all about perfectionism. So I wanted to follow up with a video that has some tips on how to overcome perfectionism when it might pop up in your life. And maybe it never does, but for me, this is really near and dear to my heart because it's something that I am challenged by often. So it's always great to have like a tool bag or something that I can fall back on as a reminder and things that I can use in the cases where it does come up. So the first tool that or tip that comes to mind is awareness. We can't change anything in our lives without first becoming aware of it. So first, just acknowledging that perfectionism is a challenge. For me, that was a massive awareness and acknowledgement in my life. And once I acknowledged it, I thought, okay, great. Where do I go from here? How do I change it? How do I transform it? Because I know that it holds me back from the things that I truly want to do and I truly want to create. So awareness is key. It's the first and by far the most important in this equation. So the second that comes to mind is don't think, just do it. So you might have heard me say this in the other video, but just start, just do it, just go after something. So often perfectionism stops us from sharing something on social media, sharing something with friends, sharing something with the world, starting a business, going after a relationship, whatever it is. And our mind tends to get the best of us, right? So it's like we get caught in this analysis paralysis. We just start thinking about it over and over and over, and we think about all the what ifs, what could happen. I don't know what about this? What about that? And by the time we're done analyzing it, it is off the table. There is no way we're doing that thing because all the bad outcomes have already been created in our minds. So this is where it's like, don't think, just do it. Just go for it. Because when you start thinking, then that's when the progress is stunted. So the next one is choose progress over perfection. So this is a little saying that I really like to just keep in my mind and a quote that I bring up often. And anytime I feel the perfectionism start slipping in or like start to niggle and stop me from doing something that I really want to do, I stop, I take a deep breath, and I ask myself, what will I choose in this moment? Progress or perfection? And another cool thing is I actually have a bracelet that says progress or perfection on it. So anytime that I feel the perfectionism coming in, or even when it's not there, I look down at that bracelet. It is an incredible reminder. Choose progress over perfection. So the next one, and this kind of plays on this idea of don't think, just do it, but it's monitor our self-talk and our negative thinking. So negative self-talk, or excuse me, negative thinking and self-talk can kind of go hand in hand. So if we're thinking negative thoughts, oftentimes our self-talk might be negative as well, or vice versa. So when we're in this negative thought process, or we're considering all the what ifs or what coulds go wrong, then you can see how it's hard to create anything new or achieve anything that we want to in our lives because we've already decided in our minds, we've already created the outcome that it's never going to work. It's not going to be great. People are going to judge, all the fears that come up around it. So, if we can really start to become aware of our thinking and our negative self talk and self thoughts, and really transform those and reframe them into positive outcomes and optimism and all the possibilities and opportunities that could happen rather than the what ifs and the negative outcomes, it could really transform the way we progress in our lives overall, and it can really transform our perfectionism. So the other thing is setting a sorry, excuse me, I just had a brain fart. Setting a timer for projects. So this is a really kind of like logical approach to things. So for me, I know creative projects, for example, I have a project in mind. It should only take me half an hour to an hour. And oftentimes I'm sitting there 3 hours later and still working on the same project. So my little idea here is set a timer. When that timer goes off, I step away. It's good. I don't need to adjust the color anymore. I don't need to adjust the font anymore. I don't need to tweak that line, because oftentimes all the little perfectionisms that come in, the things that I want to tweak and move and shake, 2 hours later, I'm still doing it. And it looks pretty similar to what I had completed an hour before or 2 hours before. So set yourself a timer and walk away after that half an hour, after that hour. Start on something new, walk away, get some fresh eyes, and come back if you need to, just to adjust things. Okay, and then create a cost benefits analysis. So this is a really massive one. So just weigh the cost of what it would cost to not do something and the benefit of it. So what benefits would you say get from or gather from not sharing your musical talent with the world? Well, you would never face judgment, you would never face failure, you would never face a lot of other fears. But what would the cost be of not sharing your gift and your musical gift with the world? What would the cost really be? You would never fulfill your self purpose. Other people would never get to share in the joy of your amazing gifts. On and on and on and on. So do this. What benefits and cost analysis, and which one outweighs? And that can also sometimes help to be a deciding factor for forward movement to progress. The next one is enjoy the process. So oftentimes we're just so focused on the end result and getting things done and getting it there and making it perfect that we forget to enjoy the process, the creative process, the experience of it all. And we really miss out on the moment and the magic of what that process can be like, because we're so gung ho about the end result. And then oftentimes as perfectionists, our end result isn't quite perfect anyway. So where's the joy? Where's the enjoyment in the entire process, in the end result? So it's really an encouragement to enjoy the process. And last but not least, one of the most challenging for me is handling self-criticism, or sorry, not self-criticism, criticism. So criticism from others. And this is really challenging. And the first few times this happens, it's a real hard blow overall. It's kind of like rejection. It's like the more that we do it and experience it, the more comfortable we become with it. So we're not as emotionally charged by it. But in the beginning, when you're as a perfectionist, when you're criticized, or the same with rejection, when you first get rejected about something that's near and dear to your heart, oh my gosh, it is painful. The emotions are the real deal. But as you go along, as you expose yourself to more rejection, as you expose yourself to more criticism, it becomes less and less and less every single time. So the emotional charge, the emotional reaction, the emotional trigger is less and less. And that's the beauty of it. So if we can learn to really embrace criticism, then what a powerful thing that would be for us. All right, y'all, that's all I have for today. I'm sending you so much love.